Shivaya. Last satsanga, we were speaking about aphorism 11. We are finishing aphorism 11 about the aphorisms 3 and 4. We are commenting of the section 2 in Spandakarikas, if my memory serves me well. There, Vasugutta speaks that we are one with the objects because knowledge is one with the object and we are one with knowledge. Or in order to say in another way, if the perceiver is one with the perception, or the knower is one with knowledge, and perception is one with the object being perceived, or knowledge is one with the knowable being perceived, the object, so the perceiver is one with the object, or the knower is one with the knowable, or the subject is one with the object. It's all the same. So he said, since all entities arise from him, Vasugupta, there is, so this is what he wrote in the Spandakarikas. So there is another way to explain why the living individual is identical with all. Vasugupta added it in the second part of aphorism 3 as a second explanation. And in as much as is an old way to say because. In as much as, it's all. People don't use now, I suppose. I'm not living in a English-speaking country, but they use Dora in as much as. Maybe British, yes, because a little old English. But in as much as. It's like because, since, as. So in as much as he has the feeling or perception of identity with those entities due to the knowledge of them all. It's what I was explaining. If you have the knowledge, you have the perception of all the objects, you are one with the objects. Why? Because you are one with your knowledge, with your perception. So all the objects and subjects around you are one with you. And they are one between each other. Because the perceiver is one with the perception. And the perception one with the object. If there are another perceiver watching the same objects, both perceivers are one with the object. And because the object is one, the perceivers are one too. So there is unity all the time. But anyway, we behold, we contemplate duality. This is a joke by Shiva. Why we contemplate duality? Because of Maya. So, we say in Trika through any other philosophical system, for example, Vedanta, Sankhya, Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Purva Mimamsa, what else? Patanjala Yoga, by any other Buddhism, by any other philosophical system, you can escape more or less from Prakriti, from Tattva 13. And you can get established, Ruddha, in Sanskrit, to get established in Purusha, Tattva 12. But you cannot go beyond Maya through those systems. So Vedanta maximum leads you to the state of deep sleep, for example, Vedanta. The state of Purusha is deep sleep, yes. But you cannot escape from the void of Maya. You cannot go beyond to Vijnana Kala. Only Trikashaivism can release you from Maya. That's why in Trikashaivism we are not interested in bondage by Prakriti. We are interested in bondage by Maya. In other systems, they are interested in bondage by Prakriti. I know that you are scholars about Sankhya, about Vedanta, that no secret for you. But anyway, I'm commenting this. And you are a scholar. Commenting this for all the audience, all of the scholars. But so this is the difference between, for example, Trika and other systems. That's why we don't believe that other systems are completely wrong. No, we only believe that they lead you to a certain stage, nothing else. Not that they are wrong. For example, oh, they are useless. No, we don't believe that. We believe, for example, Sankhya, I study a lot of Sankhya. The Sankhya guides you maximum to Purusha Tattva. Something is better than nothing, yes. Something is better than nothing. But this is not crossing the deep sleep. So you will have a deep sleep in wakefulness. So Shamaraja would say, what's the point of making so much effort, so many efforts to get deep sleep in wakefulness when you can get deep sleep in the night? Yes, every day, every night, very easily. So what's the point? Well, this is little pointless, but better something than nothing. To go beyond Maya, you need Trika. You can escape from this trick, this dualistic trick. You cannot see non-duality. You know that there is unity. Yes? The perceiver is one with the object. We are one between perceiver. We know all the theory we know. But when we perceive, we insist on duality. All the time we speak about in-duality. You know this, yes? All your life is about duality in practice. In theory, there is unity. But in practice, you only see duality. Why? Because you didn't cross Maya. When you cross Maya and when you land in Vijnana state, you are Shiva, you perceive. So all my problem is to push you to Vijnana state. It's all the problem I have. After Vijnana state, it's all power by supreme grace by Shiva. I don't need to do anything. Anyway, I will do it. But my maximum effort is in Shambhavapaya, in Vijnana where I had to create an expansion there for you. Your effort is now in Arnavopaya and Shaktopaya. In Shambhavapaya, in Vijnana is my effort. You only stay there without thoughts. But for now, you have thoughts and you have duality. So for now, you are in bondage. This is in practice. You can tell me I'm not in bondage. Yes, you are in bondage. You can tell me how? What's the proof? Because life goes easy. That's why you don't perceive it. If life goes bad, you will perceive your bondage. For example, war, the whole day running to save your life, for example, you will perceive your bondage. With explosion around, for example, you will perceive your bondage. How attached you are to your body. You will perceive duality when you have to kill people in order to survive, for example. You will see duality there. You will suffer a lot, like a pig, because you are not in unity. You don't kill and say, I'm not killing anyone, all is my own self. No, you kill and you feel duality. You feel that you kill someone else. Yes? So because we don't have this experience, like people now at war, yes? So we think that we are not in bondage. We are more or less, well, not in bondage. We are not pressed hard. When you are pressed hard, for example, by torture, you realize that you're in bondage. Not only torture by some secret service, no, torture in the hospital. For example, you cannot breathe. You have tubes to breathe. There you are suffering like a pig, torture. When you have cancer, with pain, you can escape from pain. This is bondage. You cannot say, ha ha ha, I'm in bliss, I laugh at cancer. No, you're in bondage. You can escape. You can escape from your boss. You can tell me I can escape from my boss. No, you can escape. You depend on your boss. What will you do without money? This is bondage. What will you do without money? To live. What else? So all this, but people don't perceive bondage because life is easy. If life is hard, they perceive it immediately. And obviously, they are intelligent, not if they have a high IQ. No, if they are intelligent. Because you can have a high IQ. For example, I can tell my beautiful little baby, for example, I can tell her, oh, you have an IQ, little baby, or 180. Imagine, baby, you have an IQ, yes? But you're not intelligent for that because IQ high means fast processing in your mind. You have a fast CPU, a fast processor. But intelligence is another thing. For example, if you use all this fast processing power you have in your mind, little baby, 180, to support, for example, the theory that the earth is flat, not round, so you are an idiot, yes? You are not intelligent, even if you have 180. Because you are supporting, you are using all your power of your brain to support a stupid theory about the earth flat. When we know perfectly that the earth is round, it's like a ball. So if you use your high IQ to support stupidities, you are not intelligent. Yes? Or to say, well, there is no atoms or something like this, some stupidity like this, if you arrive at this conclusion with your high IQ, so you are not intelligent. So to be intelligent is not to have a high IQ. It's to choose the right goal to go, the right way to go. For example, you use your high IQ to investigate something in medicine, you are intelligent, for example, not to do stupidity. So you use your high IQ in order to investigate how to kill more people, for example, it's stupidity. So you're not intelligent. You're an idiot. There are a lot of idiots around, unfortunately. And intelligent persons has high IQ, but they using this high IQ to do something. Or a person with a low IQ can be intelligent too. He doesn't have a lot of processing power, but then he uses his little power for something useful for him and for other people. This is intelligent. So if you're intelligent enough, when you perceive that you are in bondage, you try to resolve the problem, not to increase the problem. This is intelligent. But no, you increase the problem. This is you. You can tell me, no, I'm not increasing the problem. Yes, every day you're doing. Every day when you call your ego you are doing it. It's your ego, not you. It's Tamash. It's Natalia. It's not you. So in Trikasha vision, we say that you are the greatest sin, the greatest bad action you can make, you can commit, you can incur, is to kill your Shivahood every day and to replace your I am Shiva with I am Natalia, I am Lien, I am Gabriel, I am Irina. It's the greatest bad action you can make, you can do. So you can tell me, when did I do this? Every day. That's why you're in bondage. So this bondage is not causeless. It's not that it's a coincidence. No, you are reinforcing bondage every day, giving your eye to ego. Ego says, I'm you, and you say, yes, you are me. But it's not you. You have nothing to do with ego. No relationship at all. You can tell me it's impossible. I have a relationship. For example, Ivan. You have no relationship with this scientist, Ivan Barone. No relationship. You can tell me it's impossible. I have a relationship. He's near me. No, no relationship. You are completely different. Another person. The same with Robert. The same, another person. With Liena. Liena, this woman, Liena Nichayeva, is another person. It's not you. No relationship. I know this by experience. So I know what I'm speaking. But you can tell me it's impossible this. You will see. When you have a real taste of your real I, you will realize that you have no relationship with your ego. It's like an object. No, it's like an object. It's an object. It's like you say, oh, these drops from my nose. Yes. Oh, I'm these drops. No, you are not these drops. No, I'm this drops. Okay. Oh, I'm this footlar, this case for my glasses. I'm this case. So every day you say, I'm this case. I'm this drops. I'm this. Every day you do this. From the morning you start to do this. And obviously, so you're in bondage because ego is in bondage. Not really not you. Shiva is never in bondage. But because you identify with ego, you feel bondage. And you are not in a hurry to resolve the problem of bondage because life is easy. If life is easy, you are not in a hurry. You delay. It's like going to the dentist, yes? If you don't have pain, you don't want to go to the dentist. You delay. You say, well, maybe tomorrow, but next week. Yes, we are human. We have this nature. I know because I do this with dentists. Maybe next week, maybe next month. Now, if I have an ache, a toothache, I go fast. Yes. Well, it's like this. When you are conscious of your bondage, you want to run away. Yes. But to be conscious of bondage takes a lot of years. And especially it's obvious when it's hard life. But because most of people live easy lives in general in this planet where comfort is maximum now. Yes, we are experiencing maximum comfort in this planet. Most of us, not all of us also, but most of us, we are in full comfort. Never in history we enjoy this kind of comfort. For example, we have a phone, we connect with everyone like this, tiki, 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 comfort. I have air conditioner now with the temperature a little high. I will reduce because I'm sweating. Controlling the temperature of my room. When in the past, a human could control the temperature in a room? Never. Now we control the temperature, 21, I want the temperature, okay, 21, 22. Comfort. Computers, yes, working for us. Artificial intelligence. Because our life is so easy now in comparison to the past, we don't feel this bondage. And because we don't feel this pain, we are not in a hurry to resolve the problem. That's why all the time, Trika and Shiva, obviously, Guru in the last position. Guru is a beggar there around, yes, for you. But Trika and Shiva, the Lord, is second place, yes? What is in the first place? Ego. With all the things of ego. Not Trika, not Shiva. Guru, well, Guru, the human Guru I speak about me, is a beggar sometime coming, yes. Who is this guy? You know, this is your state. You can tell me, no, it's not my state. Guru is first. No, it's not first. Shiva is not first. You can tell me, no, it's first. No. I'm speaking in general. I'm not speaking about every one of you in specifically, but it's not first. If Shiva is first in your life, you will be completely liberated already. It's second Shiva. Poor Shiva, second, third maybe. Second is a lot. Third. First ego. Second what? Family. Third Shiva, good luck. Third Shiva with good luck. Guru, well, Guru. The last position, see, we have time. It's like this. This is the state you have. That's why you don't advance. That's why you don't get liberation. That's why. Try to put Shiva in the first position and you will see what happens. Try to put Trikashaivism in the first position and you will see what happens in your life. This is called devotion, the state of devotion. But most people don't have this state of devotion. Most disciples, no. And you want knowledge, you want power to change your life, to do this, to do that. Well, you have to change to do it. You cannot do the same thing every day and at the same time expect different results. It's impossible. Einstein said this, yes, different result with the same action is impossible. So put Shiva in the first position. Well, no, in your first position is the boss. What else? You, the boss, your family, the job, the money, the children, blah, 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 blah. Shiva, poor Shiva. The supreme power of the universe is there. And Guru, well, Guru directly. It's a poor guy, beggar, coming in the last position. And this is the state of human beings. That's why they are like this. And they can tell me, no, no, it doesn't matter. They have this unconscious part in them that they don't know. They don't know. You hate things in people, yes? What you hate in people is what you are. Not what you are. What your ego is better. What your ego is. What do you hate in people? You hate, for example, I hate sarcasm. So you are sarcastic. Not all of you. A part of your ego is sarcastic. Or you hate something in people. This is part of you there, it's you. But because you are not conscious of these parts in you, you see outside in other people. And you hate them. But it's you. But you. Ego, this thing you call you. You hate prostitutes because you are a prostitute. You hate, what do you hate? Something you hate a lot. It's, oh, this woman is a prostitute. You are a prostitute. So you have inside you some prostitute that you are not conscious of. That's why your attitude is so hard. But this to recognize all this is so hard that is years. That's why it takes years for people to recognize bondage because they're not conscious of all this part in them. They're not conscious. That's why sometimes people tell us something strange, yes, and we're surprised. For example, they will tell us, oh, you are so mean. Something like this. Why mean? I'm not mean. And you were mean your whole life and you never noticed it. Strange thing, yes. Something penetrates inside us. You know this? When someone tells us something and penetrates inside us. And you feel this, yes, and you cannot remove it. Penetrates. You cannot remove it. Something new about you, yes. About ego, but ego is like you, yes, you are so attached. But at the end, in liberation, you realize that you have no relationship with ego. It's an object. You are Shiva. No. That's why all the efforts in Trikashaivism is for the pure thought, the Shuddha Vikalpa, to appear in you. This Shuddha Vikalpa is, I'm the Lord. I'm Shiva. Ishvaroham, I'm the Lord. Shivoham, I'm Shiva. So this is for this Shuddha Vikalpa. When this Shuddha Vikalpa appears in you, this thought, pure thought appears in you, you move like a rocket. That's why you study scriptures, you meditate, all for the emergence of the Shuddha Vikalpa. When the Shuddha Vikalpa arrives, so you move faster. This is from Shiva comes the Shuddha Vikalpa. But for this, you need to put Shiva in first position. First. You don't feel the urgency to put him in first position because you're not conscious of your bondage. Okay. It's in the fourth way, a person in bondage is called someone who is all the time about to fall. All the time about to fall. But he's not conscious. All the time about to fall. Okay. The limited individual is one with his knowledge, or this knowledge would belong to another. The limited individual is one with perception, or this perception would belong to another. And knowledge is one with the knowables, with all entities, with all the objects and subjects around you. Or no process of knowing could exist. How to know? You are not one with them. Therefore, the limited individual is one with the knowables, with all entities. Not the body is one with the objects. You, consciousness, are one with them. You are not the body. You are the perceiver. Nobody knows what the perceiver is, because the perceiver cannot perceive himself. He is. That's why in the Bible, when some prophet asks the Lord, how will I call you in front of people? Lord, tell me, how will I call you in front of people when I will preach to people? You know what is preach? Predicar. In Spanish, predicar. When I preach to people, how will I call you, Lord? What will I tell them you are? So he said, predicar in Hungarian is predikal, and in Russian is prapavedavat. So the prophet, what name I will use for you, Lord, when I'm in front of people preaching? Yes, prapavedavat. Oh my God. So he said, I am who I am. The Lord told him, I am who I am. Yo soy el que soy in Spanish. I am who I am. Tell them this. So he is. Aham. Aham. I am who I am. How is ya es, to ya est? I am who I am. Yo soy el que soy. This is him. He's not someone. He's not ego. He is. But nobody knows what he is. Consciousness, nobody knows what consciousness is. It's pure knowledge. You cannot know. But consciousness is here, like the perceiver. Inside the head, no. Not inside, not outside. Because it has no space, consciousness. The path of space and the path of time come from consciousness. But consciousness has no time, no space in itself. So you are now neither inside nor outside the body. You are. When you realize all this in practice, not only in theory, this is a near the state of liberation, very near. Therefore, the limited individual is one with the knowables. So, as he knows them all, he is forced to be one with them, since his knowledge is one with such entities. For all those reasons, the limited individual is in essence Parabhairava himself. As a result, it's him who manifests the whole universe like a very fragrant garland or like a rosary for practicing japa around his precious neck. So all this universe is his manifestation, is him. So obvious. Aphorism 12, stanza 12 in Trikamukhyamatāni. Ya jagadidam parabhairabaham vimarshat maka shaktis paranameva. Tachri Maheshwara Viratananda Dhutitam Natu Shokatah Kila. As this universe is the throbbing expansion, throbbing, vibrating expansion of Shakti, that is the I consciousness of Paravairava Shakti, therefore it arises, universe arises from the incessant joy of Venerable Great Lord, and not from sorrow indeed. So this universe comes from bliss and not from sadness, from sorrow. This is the difference between, for example, modern psychology and Trikashaivism. Trikashaivism comes from bliss, while modern psychology comes from sorrow. It's a difference. So we have a blissful viewpoint. Explanation. The universe comes from Shakti, which is the supreme power of Shiva. This is mentioned in the first aphorism of Spanakarikas. In the first aphorism, Vasugupta wrote, Vyasyon mesha nimesha pyan jagata pralayo dayau. Tapchati chakra vibhava prabhavam shankaram stumaha. Without that Shankara is Shiva, who is the source or cause of the glorious group of powers, and by whose opening and shutting of his eyes, there is dissolution and emergence of the world. Close your eyes. Dissolution of the world. Open your eyes. Emergence of the world. It's literal. Speaking about you. So we laud, we praise. You know what is praise? We praise Shankara, the Lord, consciousness in you. This consciousness, the perceiver. Not the Lord in another place. No, the perceiver. We laud him. Laud is Khvalit. Khvalit, Guruma. In Hungarian, teacher. Teacher. So we praise this Lord, who is the source. You are the source, or cause of the glorious group of powers. All these powers in you, your senses, for example. Every power moving my finger, my hands, my body, the world, all this power moving the world, keeping my beautiful cat there on the shell alive. Yes, these powers. He's sleeping there. Look at him. He told me that he's very interested in satsangas. So these powers in him, keeping him alive, all emanate from here, from the Lord. It's so obvious. And this Lord, by whose opening and shutting of his eyes, dissolve the universe or manifest the universe. Yes. It's not the eye of a Lord, big eye in some place, yes, moving the eye. No, it's your eyes. Speaking about you. Kshemaraja, in his commentary on this aphorism in Spanda Nirnaya, speaks indirectly about what I'm affirming in my present aphorism. Tatascha yasya sambandinyaha swarupa nimeshat manah karyon mesha pradhanaya shakter hetor jagato vishwasya shivader dhararnyanta dayo veda sarata nimajana sattatuo nana vaichitrya shali veda rupa sarga swarupon meshat manascha Bhyatāni mesha pradhanaya shakter jagatah pralayo bheda mayato dayatma vichitra bheda rupata samhara iti pralayo piudaya rupa udayo picha pralaya rupa iti vyakyeya. Vyakya is explanation, so vyakyeya, this explanation. Vyakya iyam. So for that reason, this would be the explanation. This yang would be the vyakya, the explanation of the first part of the aphorism. From his power or Shakti acting as the cause and being closely connected with him, with Shiva, there is emergence of the world or universe which begins with Shiva, you, and ends in the earth element, the objects, solid objects. Solidity in objects is earth element, Tattva 36. And ends in the earth element. When Shakti shows predominance in the display of creation and at the same time conceals, hides, conceals his own, the essential nature of Shiva, his own essential nature, the essential nature of Shiva. This emanation or manifestation based on diversity and difference, duality, is really the submergence, the immersion of the essential unity with Shiva. So when you open your eyes and duality appears, unity sinks, is immersed, is down. To keep unity down, what happened? The Lord hides his essential nature. So you hide your own essential nature in order for the universe to appear. This emanation or manifestation based on diversity and difference, duality, is really the submergence, imagine, of the essential unity with Shiva, and is full of multiple varieties. In turn, from that very power or Shakti, there is the solution of the world. When she, Shakti, shows predominance in the submergence of externality, you close your eyes. Externality, the external objects are completely immersed, are dissolved. So Shakti predominates, yes? You feel inside Aham, Aham. When you open your eyes, Aham dissolves a little bit. You feel the universe. When you close your eyes, you can go inside and you feel more Aham. Shakti is more pure. In turn, from that power of Shakti, there is the solution of the world. When Shakti shows predominance in the submergence of externality, and at the same time revealed his own essential nature, the essential nature of Shiva. This pralaya or dissolution is the emergence of unity and the withdrawal of that of what consists of various differences. In this manner, pralaya or dissolution is also udaya or emergence, and udaya or emergence is also pralaya or dissolution. So the udaya or emergence of the world in duality is the pralaya of submergence, of immersion of unity. And the udaya of unity is the immersion of duality. It's the same. You are playing with the words. The first part of the aphorism in Spandakarikas, aphorism 1 Spandakarikas I'm analyzing now is Yasyon Mesha Nimesha Abhyam Jagatah Pralayodayau. By whose opening and shutting of his eyes, there is the solution and emergence of the world. The universe then emerges from his power, from his Shakti, and this Shakti has predominance of Ananda Shakti, or power of bliss. Therefore, the universe is born from bliss or joy, not from sorrow. The universe starts with the Shiva category, number 1, and ends in the earth element, Prithvi, category 36. This is solidity in the objects. The universe expands totally when Shakti is fully engaged in manifesting it, while at the same time she's eagerly occupied with concealing the essential nature. All the time when you open your eyes, Shakti manifests the universe. She's engaged, this power will manifest in the universe, and she all the time hides your essential nature. Yes, this is what you experience every day. When you open your eyes, you start to forget your essential nature, that you are Shiva. So she's eagerly occupied with concealing the essential nature in everything and everybody. All in all, for the universe to emerge, the divine essential nature has to submerge, has to be down. Because if the essential nature appears, the universe cannot appear. Because the eye is so massive that the universe has no opportunity to appear. You understand this? That's why in Shiva and Shakti, in Aham, there is no universe. Universe starts in Tattva 3, the ideal universe. In Aham, there is no universe because the highest reality is so massive, so great, that the universe has no opportunity to appear. Anyway, you think that the universe is greater than the I, so the universe appears. This universe is nothing in comparison to the I. That's why when an atheistic tell you, oh, God doesn't exist, and the I, what is the I? Aham. What's the nature of I? So atheists are wrong. God exists because I exist. If I exist, God exists. I told one day one atheistic like this, and he couldn't understand. God exists because I exist. If I exist, he thought that I was speaking about Gabriel, so he couldn't understand. I was speaking about Shiva. If I exist, if Shiva exists, God exists. What's the nature of this I? We cannot be without I, yes? All the time we have I. I do this, I do that, I think, I eat, I run, I walk, I sleep, all the time we die. What's the nature of this I? God. This is nature. That's why this stupid modern science we have now, yes, it's stupid because they are right about their statements about the objects, but they are wrong about the subject. They're wrong about the subject. The thing about the objects are obvious, yes? For example, I don't know, there is gravity force. Oh, well, yes, it's obvious about the object. But they don't know about the subject. So all the time when they have to speak about the subject, they cannot explain the subject. For example, they say, well, life arrives at this planet from some place. Yes? It's not so simple. From comets. Some life from the planet itself. No, it's not so simple. Life is the subject. He said that in Bhagavata that life is the subject. I'm translating chapter 6, and he says, it's the subject, consciousness. He says, he wrote very clearly, he said, I will publish in the future, chapter 6, he said, consciousness itself assumes a form which is separated from the knowable, from the objects, the subject. On this account, consciousness who becomes the knowable or object by association with limitations is navas or ether, a void. After that, because of its absolute freedom, consciousness with a strong desire to appropriate the knowable or object falls from his high state of Shiva, falls and becomes predominantly power of action, Tattva 5. Consciousness falls from Tattva 1. Next, consciousness acquiring the form of pranana becomes the essential nature of life, on which account consciousness as pranana fills the body up with 5 forms, the main 5 vital energies, prana, apana, samana, udana, and vyana. Afterward, that consciousness shines forth as a chetana or conscious being, living being. So life is consciousness. You cannot trace consciousness from comets, from the cortex of the earth or some craziness. Or life came from water. No, water is the object. Life is consciousness. From where consciousness came? From nowhere. It's not an object. That's why science cannot explain the origin of life satisfactorily. Because all the time they associate life with objects. No. But it's not so simple. It's so funny when I when I see these documentaries about modern science explaining the origin of life. It's so funny. Because they can say, okay, life came in comets. Yes, but from where? Yes, life came. Some place. Where's the origin of life? In comets. But from where the comets are coming? So it's stupid because with materialism, you cannot explain consciousness. Materialism is Charvaka system. Charvaka. It's the system of Charvaka, this founder of materialism in India. Yes, the Indian materialism is the father of Western materialism. So no, it's impossible. Strong sun now. It's impossible with the materialism try to understand the origin of non-materialism. Consciousness is not material. It's spiritual. We say spiritual because we don't have another word to define consciousness. Consciousness is. And consciousness was with us from the beginning. If there was a beginning. From the beginning, I mean from time, beginning of time. But there was a beginning. Really. That's why sometimes they say from beginningless time. Because time was created by consciousness with the universe. So in consciousness, you can speak about the beginning or an end. Competing material has no death. So this body will die, but consciousness in the body will never die. It's immortal. You understand this? You will never die. You understand this? Why you are not so happy because you will never die? You are immortal. Why you are not dancing every day because you are immortal? Because you are not conscious of your immortality. That's why when I got liberation, I learned a secret. The Lord told me, I'm revealing the secret now. He told me, from the beginning of humankind, nobody died. From the beginning, nobody died, ever. It's an illusion. You understand? Anyway, a lot of people die every day. The bodies, not the people. Again, with the story with the body. You see, all the time with the story with the body. The body, not people. Body dies, but the subject cannot die. It's expanda, the power of God. Why cannot die the subject? Because he was never born. Someday you will understand. He was never born. That's why he cannot die. What is born can die, the body, but not the subject. So the emergence of duality implies the submergence of unity. And the emergence of unity implies the submergence of duality. Simple to understand. Therefore, this universe, by arising from blissful Shakti, who is the Aham, I am, or I consciousness of Parabhairava, is always emerging from joy and never from sorrow, as some dualistic viewpoints try to establish. Never from sorrow. For example, dualistic viewpoint, Christianity, that the man was born with the original sin in him, so he's flawed from the beginning. Yes, this is the viewpoint try to establish. Dualistic viewpoint. It's all about sorrow. You know, Christianity is all about sorrow. Jesus Christ killed there, yes, and all of them suffering. But if Jesus Christ liberated, he couldn't suffer. Well, ridiculous. But anyway, this dualistic viewpoint is predominant in this world, yes? A lot of people believe in this. Okay, stanza 13. Chitam yasma chakyat makam kramernaiva cha sankocha nantaram tasmat tu chita sambodha shakti rupat protsahita evahi. Since mind is Shakti, after successive contractions, therefore understanding the mind as a form of Shakti is encouraged. Since mind, or because mind is Shakti after successive contractions, therefore understanding the mind, Chitta Sambodha, as a form of Shakti is encouraged in this Paravairava Yoga. Explanation. What one calls his mind is really Shakti after a very heavy process of conditioning. Now, to expand a little on this topic, I repeat again the aphorism 5 in Pratyabhijna Hridayam, which is vital to attain very fast the stage which is immediately before liberation, the state of Vijnana Kala. In Pratyabhijna Hridayam, Kshemaraja wrote, aphorism 5, Chittireva Chetana Padada Varudha Chetya Sankochini Chitam. Is Chitti alone who, by descending from the stage of pure consciousness, contracts herself, assuming the form of the object or knowable, and it's also Chitti who becomes the mind. So all these objects we see around are consciousness, descending. That's why Abhinavagupta said, Nipatayanti is falling. Consciousness is falling, yes, it's descending. From the state of pure consciousness, contracts herself and assuming the form of the objects. And this consciousness contracts herself and assumes the form of the mind, too. I already showed my explanation in my explanation of previous aphorism how this Chitti or Shakti descends and becomes different minds. Something in my eye, some eyelash. Become different minds according to their respective knowers or experience. In this context, the original Shakti has contracted herself so much as to become the ordinary mind. Anyway, the essence of this ordinary mind continues to be the original Chitti or Shakti. That's why one kind of meditation in Shaktopaya is to meditate like the mind is, every thought in your mind is like the rays of the sun. So Chitti is like the sun. And every sun rays, every ray from the sun, yes, emanating from the sun is a thought, vikalpa. Because of that simple truth, control of mind is not encouraged in Trikasha vision. When we meditate, we don't try to control the mind, to force the mind to be calm, for example. No. How to control Shakti? How to control the supreme power? Oh, this is pestering in this eye. How to control the supreme power? This is impossible. Therefore, understanding the mind as a form of Shakti is always encouraged. In my lineage, Muktananda all the time stimulated, encouraged to understand the mind as a form of Shakti, like rays of Shakti, and not to control the mind. The path where one understands the understanding of his mind by means of this divine knowledge is called Shaktopaya. In this path, one tries hard to fully realize that his mind really is the supreme power. When one succeeds in that, one moves beyond the power of the letters and arrives at the state of Vijnana Kala. That's why when you understand that your mind is Shakti, you understand Matrika, the Matrika power, the power of the letters, because you understand that every letter in your thoughts, every Vikalpa, every letter in your Vikalpas is the power of God. And Matrika becomes Shakti. Matrika, Maya, transform into Shakti, pure Shakti for you, when you understand this. You do this every day, try to understand your mind like a power of God and not try to fight your mind all the time in meditation. It's a good practice. When In this path, one tries hard to fully realize that his mind really is the supreme power. When one succeeds in that, one moves beyond the power of the letters and arrives at the state of Vijnana Kala, right under Arnavamala. One has then crossed over Maya, category 6, with the invaluable help of that understanding about his mind. After this, his only task is to keep the mind empty. When you understand your mind stops. Your mind is pestering you now because you don't understand it. That's why you generate vikalpas. When you understand your mind, vikalpas stop. The flow of vikalpas stop for long periods of time. This is Shambhopai. Your only task is to be without any thoughts. At that time, I have to work, not you. How I have to work? Not with my body. I don't have to dance around you. No. I have to work from inside, the principle of Guru, creating an expansion in you. That's why the aphorism 5 in Pratyabhijna Hridaya is the blood of the spiritual path. If someone can understand that his annoying mind is, as a matter of fact, the supreme power after having undergone a heavy process of limitation, that each of his thoughts are sparks of Shakti, he will be promoted to the state of Vijnana Kala very fast. You know what is sparks? Like sparks of fire. So every thought in you is like sparks of Shakti. Sparks. Iskri. Iskri. In Hungarian. Sikrakat. Sparks of Shakti. And this annoying, you know what is annoying? This annoying mind. Stop pestering you. Annoying. In Hungarian, Bosszantó. In Russian, Razdrajayushi. This annoying mind, yes, stop pestering you anymore. Doesn't pester you anymore. This annoying mind. Because you understand it. While the mind is very active because you don't understand it. So you are blocked there in Shaktopaya. You cannot advance beyond Shaktopaya. When you can advance beyond Shaktopaya, your mind stops completely and you move to Shambhavapaya. So from the Vijnana Kala state, liberation is right around the corner. It's automatic. It's just about keeping thoughtlessness without any thought in your mind and waiting for His grace in order to cross over the barrier called Arnavamala. I will explain all this to a certain extent later when I speak about upayas. So when I speak about upayas in the future in the book, I will explain all this. Okay. For today is enough. So next Asanga, I'm in the page 144. Next Asanga will analyze the aphorism 14 and 15. I will analyze this aphorism 14 and 15, page 144 in Trikamukhyamatāni. For today is enough. Om Namah Shivaya.